Kaiju fans, it's Thomas here, and today we have the review of a new show that's coming out, and it's called Shin Ultraman. And I believe so far they have 3 figures from that show. That show has not come out yet. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. First one we have. This guy was originally from the 60s Ultraman, but this is a, I guess, reimagined, revised version of a kaiju called Gavora. And he actually looks pretty cool. Nice gold bronze color in the back. And it's, I guess you would consider this a premium figure. It's not like the standard Bandai that came out like in the 80s, 90s. And this guy's nice. He's got some long claws too. So that's number 1. Excuse me. And number 2, we have, okay, now this is Neronga. And this guy was also from the original classic Ultraman. But this guy has a revised look. And the vinyl is squeezable, I guess. But it's still fairly hard. He looks cool. Alright, so that is Neronga. So that's two out of the 3. And the next one is Shin Ultraman himself. And you can see from the tag, you know, a very common picture that we see of this guy is he's just standing like along the water's edge, very stoic. And I noticed this guy is kind of slender compared to the regular Ultraman, and he doesn't have his chest blinker. So that's interesting. I want to see what they did with this. I believe this is a movie. This is going to be a movie. I could be wrong. Maybe it's going to be a series, or maybe this is a movie and that will lead to a series. But I guess we'll find out soon. So that's Ultraman. Now, as a bonus, since I got these all together today, I am going to also review the Bandai King Kong. And this is for the legendary, I guess this is the Godzilla vs. King Kong. And I believe this is one of the first Bandai Kongs that they did a legendary ever. I think the last time Bandai made any Kong figures was from like 1993, and that was based on the 62. So a trademark is the chest scratch. So pretty sure that's why they were able to get it, because it's part of legendary. So that's cool. So I'm going to review this guy too. So it's going to be a 4-figure review, and let's get started. Okay, so first up we have Shin Ultraman himself in his very stoic pose. And at first glance, the paint app looks really nice. It looks good. He's definitely recognizable with his trademark red and silver. And here's a side profile of this guy. He does have those interesting feet, which is also a look from the classic Ultraman 60s show. Okay, for some reason I had a hard time standing him up so I could show his tag and stuff. So I just laid him flat down, or face down rather. Might as well. So there's that pose I was talking about that was on the tag. Oh, sorry about that. So Bandai pretty much was spot on in his pose here, and he looks exactly like this. Okay, so that is Shin Ultraman, and let's go ahead and get him with another figure as a comparison. So here we have a figure from a while back from Bandai, and this happens to be what do you call it, an imposter Ultraman from the 60s show. Now you guys can notice that he actually looks more like a toy. The colors and just the general details, you can tell he's more of a toy, while Shin Ultraman, they actually made him look, I don't know, you can just tell that he looks just different type of figure. it looks good. Okay, and just for fun, I went ahead and grabbed one of those Godzilla singular point figures, and this is Jet Jaguar. And you can see they kind of scale, but the dimensions of Jet Jaguar, he just seems a lot bigger, especially his width. Now we have figure number 2, and it is Gavora. He's a pretty cool figure. If you guys didn't see him in the original Ultraman, he's pretty unforgettable. And I don't want to give away what things he does in the show, what kind of action or what kind of weapons or style that he has. Not style, but his fighting tactics are pretty interesting. And also he looks pretty interesting because he has those things that cover his face or that surround his face. So there's the tag. And in general, let's try to get a better look at the detail and the paint. Look at those teeth on that guy. He definitely looks a little different than the way he looked originally, but I think it's a pretty cool updated look. He's got those coils on his back with a nice bronze type of paint, bronze copperish. Overall, he looks nice. I was originally just going to get Shin Ultraman, but I ended up getting them all. Yeah, I figured Ultraman would be lonely without someone next to him, so might as well just get them. So that's Gavora, guys. And comparing this guy to one of the basic Bandai Kaiju from the 80s and 90s, this guy's a step up. I wouldn't say these guys are necessarily premium, but they're better than the standard figures that they release. So it seemed like this is like a mid-level figure, but definitely more geared toward collectors because it costs more. Probably 3 times more, almost 3 times more than the standard little Bandai. So quickly here, I grabbed one of I think the 90s, maybe early 2000s Ultra Kaiju from one of the newer series. I don't even know where he's from, but he is Boltan. Now, Boltan is probably one of the most popular Kaiju in the Ultraman series, so they'll keep bringing this guy back over and over. But they actually scale very well. Probably the same scale, actually. Okay, next up, let's grab Neronga. Okay, and here we have Neronga. And he also looks different a little bit from when he appeared in the regular Ultraman series. But it's a good look. He's got longer claws than what I remember. And those ridges on the back and the plates look good. Well detailed, nicely painted. You got all those scaly patches and stuff. They did it pretty good. And he's got those teeth and the huge yellow horn. And look at this tag. You can see that they did a pretty decent job, but you can see those little appendages above his head. They're gonna look a lot nicer in the show or in the movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure both these kaiju are gonna look fantastic in the show itself. Okay, so that is Neronga, and I think he looks great, especially compared to the older Bandai. So I went ahead and grabbed one of my old classic Bandai, and I believe that one's from 1992 Bandai. Now this guy's name is something King. I don't know if it's, I think it's King Crab. I think that's his name, and I don't even know which show he's from. I think he's from Ultraman Ace, and that's the show I have not watched yet. So you can get a quick view. They actually scale. They're probably in the same scale, But these newer figures are, I would say they're a little bit more nicely done. All right, so that's a quick comparison. All right, so that is the Shin Ultraman trio. Ultraman does not look amused being surrounded by these huge kaiju. And look who joined the party. It is King Kong, the legendary Kong that's gonna show up in Godzilla vs. King Kong. And although we had to wait many years for a new Kong from Bandai, I think they did a fantastic job. Great detail. And the paint, actually, you can see a contrast of brown, a little bit of like, I don't know what you call it, brown, black, maybe a little bit of blue in there. Maybe that's a little bit of silver. It's all there. I can't quite capture it here, but if I took them out into the sunlight, you really can tell. And as you can see, they did a good job with his eyes. You really can see that they didn't do a sloppy job there. And the mouth is pretty good. There you go. Now you can really see it. So another cool thing is he scales great with these Shin Ultraman figures. So we can have a big battle royal. And there goes the tag, and Kong looks great in there. Bandai 2021, and this is Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. So for me, I think Kong was great, and I would recommend you guys grab one of these guys while you can, because the other Kong from way back, it's a pretty expensive figure now. Okay, although not the enemy he was looking for, I grabbed the older X Plus GMK Godzilla, and they actually scale really well. Kong is outraged that it's not the legendary Godzilla. And one thing I forgot to mention is these figures, these new figures have some basic articulation. The arms move up and down, the head can turn, and the legs. Well, this Kong doesn't have legs that move, but you can turn them at the waist. Alright guys, so my final thoughts on the Shin Ultraman trio is that they are nicely done by Bandai, and I actually recommend them, especially since it's the first run of these figures. And if not being the first run, I think if you're just a fan of Ultraman, you're gonna want to get these guys. I think they'll make a cool addition to your collection. And the Kong, I think enough said. He looks great, and I think he's very cool. All four of these guys are cool. So anyways, that is my basic review. My review is that I think they're great, and value wise, I think they're pretty fairly priced. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next review. Bye bye.